Politics Ignited, Episode 0. Let's do this.
This is Politics Ignited, where we're joined by exciting liberty-minded political activists from around the world, giving you the Ignite Nation direct insight into how they got involved in liberty, what they are doing now to fan the flames, and what you can do to light the fires of liberty. And now, your host, Todd Welch.
Well, hello Ignite Nation, and thank you for joining me in this journey called Liberty. This is going to be episode 0, which is basically our About Us page for the show. And you can find the show notes for this episode at www.politicsignited.com/000. So in this episode, I am basically going to go over my background and give you a little information about myself and my path towards liberty. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. I was born and raised in Wisconsin in the Eau Claire, Chippewa Valley area. I've got a pretty solid tech background. I have degrees in computer programming, computer networking, software technologies, and have been a tech entrepreneur, e-commerce entrepreneur for the last 10 plus years. So I have a lot of experience in business and technology in my background. And so I bet you're wondering, why exactly would you start a podcast then if you've got your own tech businesses and you've been a business owner for the last 10 years? Why start a podcast? Well, essentially, I've wanted to start a podcast for quite a while. I've been putting it off because I've been quite busy. But in the last couple weeks here, I actually sold my interest in my main business. So that has freed up quite a bit of time. And I've decided to jump in and create this podcast. And the reason for it is I really just want to help others along their journey towards liberty by sharing what other people have done, what I have done, to help them come along quicker, because it's always a positive thing to learn from other people's mistakes, other people's successes, help bring on your successes and get past your own mistakes quicker so it can be more effective in politics and fanning the flames of liberty. So essentially my political story, about when I was 22 years old, up until that point, I had just voted Democrat. That's what my parents were. But at about 22, I felt like something was wrong, something was missing. So the path that I initially started out on was I started researching the political party platforms. So the Republican Party, the Democrat Party, the Constitution Party, the Green Party, and the Libertarian Party. And when I found the Libertarian Party platform, it just seemed to fit. Their platform was very close to what I had been thinking, or what I guess I had been thinking up to that point. I wasn't really sure. I was still trying to figure out. But the Libertarian Party platform seemed to fit the most. There's obviously things we don't all agree 100% on everything. So there's things I do not agree with on the Libertarian Party platform. But overall, it was the best fit. So I decided to join the Libertarian Party. That was back probably in about 2006, 2005, 2006. I quickly became the 3rd District representative for the Libertarian Party and started my journey fanning the flames of liberty the best way that I knew how. I was still pretty new at this, learning as much as possible, and doing my best to fan the flames of liberty. And then in about 2007, this guy by the name of Ron Paul, somebody who I had no clue of up until this point, came on the scene and decided to run for president. And suddenly, here was a man putting words to the thoughts that I had been having about liberty and freedom in general. So I quickly joined the Ron Paul campaign and joined the Republican Party and started doing everything I could to try to get Ron Paul elected as president. Now, unfortunately, it didn't quite turn out as millions of us had hoped, but the fires were started. The passion was burning inside of me to push liberty and freedom. And these ideas, I knew they were the best ideas. And I knew eventually we could get there. It's going to take work, but liberty and freedom is infectious. And I knew that we could get there. So after the Ron Paul campaign, I joined and became the state coordinator for Wisconsin for Ron Paul's Campaign for Liberty, which was a grassroots organization that Ron Paul started with the leftover money from his presidential campaign to continue fighting for liberty throughout the country. With that, we continued fighting for liberty in Wisconsin, but then again in 2012, Ron Paul ran for president, and again, I got into his campaign. The liberty momentum that we had actually propelled me to be elected as a national delegate to the Republican National Convention in Florida that year. And so I went down to the Republican National Convention with hundreds of other Ron Paul delegates, including some very close friends that I still have today. We had a great time fighting for liberty. We really had to fight against the establishment trying to stomp out liberty at the National Convention, to the point of where they actually changed the rules to ensure that Ron Paul would not be allowed a speaking role at all at the National Convention. And of course, we fought this tooth and nail, did everything we could. Unfortunately, we were not successful, but we were successful in showing a nation what the liberty movement could do and that we were not going to go away. Liberty was the best path. In the end, we ended up marching out of the National Convention, hundreds of us marching and chanting, "As Maine goes, so goes the nation," because the establishment had just used underhanded, backhanded tactics to throw out an entire state's slate of delegates that were elected by the people in Maine. They threw them out to ensure that Ron Paul would not get a speaking role at that convention. So even though we did not win at the National Convention, I had a lot of fun fighting for liberty and made a lot of great friends that continue on till today and have helped me down my path towards liberty. And after the convention, I was even more motivated, so I continued on as the state coordinator for Campaign for Liberty, and we fought a lot of state battles, amongst those some of the big ones, fighting to get constitutional carry in Wisconsin and fighting to stop Common Core in Wisconsin, a couple of the two big ones that we fought for. Since then, I've continued fighting for liberty, and that brings me up to today. Politics Ignited is my new path towards fanning the flames of liberty. By helping to inspire you out there in the Ignite Nation to get involved in liberty and help create millions of more liberty-minded activists in the United States and around the world, and help you move along your path quicker and hopefully bring others along with you and build this movement, which I truly think this movement and this unique part of history is a part of history that will be looked back upon as the time when liberty was truly reignited, when liberty, the flames of liberty, were fanned and reignited and really took off. I really, truly do. I think we're on a very positive path and liberty will prevail. It's going to take time. Nothing that has brought us up to this point has been immediate or been fast. It's been a slow progression towards socialism, big government, and government taking away our rights and freedoms as individuals. So it's going to be a hard path back, but we are on that path. We just need to keep going, keep fighting, keep fanning the flames of liberty. I really look forward and hope that you all out there will join me in this journey called liberty. We can keep pushing and going, and we will prevail. So that is essentially my story as to why I'm doing this podcast, what's brought me up to this point, and what really motivates me politically. I really look forward to working with all of you out there in Ignite Nation. Go to our website, www.politicsignited.com. You can click on the Contact Us page and shoot me a message. Tell me what you think. And soon also we'll have up there a link for you to record a voicemail and send it to me. If you have questions for people who are on the show or questions about liberty that you want to get answered, feel free to send them to me. We're going to have a lot of fun with this, and the goal is to have fun, motivate you towards getting involved in liberty, and help you understand the path that other people have taken. So hopefully you can find your path quicker, easier, and make a bigger impact. So that's really the goal. I hope you all will enjoy this. I guess, as always, going forward, I really appreciate you all out there in Ignite Nation. Keep lighting the fires of liberty around the world.